Hi, welcome to the 2020 Open Enrollment for Southern Administrative Services. In this session, we're going to be talking about the short-term and long-term disability benefits available to you on a voluntary basis with Mutual of Omaha. This year, we will be using the ADP portal for our online open enrollment. Did you know that you can use the ADP portal to view and update your personal information, update your emergency contacts, view your pay stubs, see company announcements, and much more? Visit the company website shown and use the registration code for SAS. Here are the benefits for the voluntary short-term disability program that's available to you. Now, disability insurance, that's just paycheck insurance. You buy insurance for your car, your house, your health, but do you have insurance that protects your paycheck? If something were to happen to you and you could not work, those bills still come in. You still have to pay to keep the lights on or pay rent or pay daycare. So disability insurance is a way to help you plan for those unexpected events. Okay. Now how this short-term disability works is you pay the entire premium for this coverage. So that makes the benefit that you receive non-taxable. And we'll get into that in a little more detail, but just know that you're not going to have taxes withheld from it, nor will you receive a W-2 at the end of the year. Okay, so how the disability works is that it starts on the 15th day following your disability. Now, your disability can be due to illness or injury, but for the first 2 weeks, you can use sick leave or vacation time to cover you during that period. And then on the 15th day, Mutual of Omaha will start sending you weekly benefits for your disability. Now that's 60% of your pre-disability income up to $1,000 per week. So let's just say I make $1,000 a week. Okay, nice easy math there. 60% of that means I'm going to get a check for $600. Okay, and benefits are going to last until I'm no longer disabled or up to a maximum of 24 weeks. Okay, so if I am pregnant and I have a regular delivery, they're going to pay me, or I'm going to have benefits for 6 weeks. Now remember, the first 2 weeks is vacation and sick time, and then on the 15th day it's going to start, my disability is going to start. So I would actually get like 4 weeks of actual paid benefits for maternity, for regular delivery, and a cesarean, you will be off for 8 weeks, so you could get 6 weeks worth of benefits. And normally with maternity, they go ahead and just issue you a lump sum payment because they know those are predefined amounts. But let's say that you're hanging Christmas lights and you fall off the ladder, okay? So as long as you cannot work and you're under doctor's care, that's your benefit. That's how long your benefits are going to last, okay? Up to a maximum of 24 weeks. Now, the coverage is portable, so if you ever leave employment, this is something that you can take with you. And I don't know if you've ever tried to get disability coverage on an individual, but my husband is self-employed. It's pretty hard to get, and it's pretty expensive. So now you can't get coverage for your spouse. This is just for you, but it is something that you can take with you if you ever leave employment. Now, there's no evidence of insurability required for this, so if you've previously declined the coverage, but you decide, hey, you might need some of that this year, then you can do that without having to answer any health questions. But be aware that this policy does have a pre-existing limitation that will not cover any illness or injury that existed in the 3 months prior to your effective date. Okay, it won't cover it for a period of 6 months. So let's just do the math on that real quick. If you sign up for this benefit for the first time, coverage is going to go into effect July 1st. Okay, and I have high blood pressure. So if something were to happen to me and I were to go out on disability in my first 6 months of coverage, and they could say that it was related to my high blood pressure, then they would not cover me for 6 months. After 6 months, I'm fully covered. Okay. And again, that pre-existing only applies to conditions that existed 3 months prior to your effective date. Now here is this premium calculation for your short-term disability. And so again, this will be figured for you in your ADP portal, but this is a description or an example of how to calculate that short-term disability premium. Now let's talk about long-term disability insurance. Okay, you don't have to buy short-term and you don't have to buy long-term, and you definitely don't have to buy them together. You can buy them independently, but if you were to buy the long-term disability, okay, that's going to kick in after 180 days, so 6 months. Well, that's when your short-term coverage ends. Okay, so that would be continuous paycheck coverage if you were to buy both benefits, but again, you definitely don't have to. Again, you pay the entire cost of this coverage, so the benefits that you receive is non-taxable. Benefits start after you have been disabled due to illness or an injury after 180 days. And this benefit is a monthly benefit, so it's 60% of your pre-disability income up to a maximum of $5,000 per month. So again, let's just use a nice round number of $1,000 a month. I'm going to get a check for $600. Okay, no taxes are withheld. Now, if I become disabled prior to age 62, my benefits, as long as I'm disabled, okay, will carry me to the age of 65 or my normal Social Security retirement age. Okay, now which I think is like 67 and a half for me. Now, if I am closer to age 62 when I become disabled, it's going to cover me up to 3.5 years. So I'm either going to be covered to age 65, I'm going to be covered to my Social Security retirement age, or 3.5 years, whichever is longest. If I were to become disabled after age 62, then my duration will be based on a reduced schedule, and information is available. A summary is available to you. If you need that, just reach out to us and we'll be glad to provide that. Again, this coverage is also portable, so if you ever leave employment, this is something that you can take with you. The pre-existing limitation on this policy is a little bit longer because the potential or the liability is longer. They're going to cover you for a longer period of time. So they're going to look back 12 months prior to your effective date. If you were to go out on a claim, they're not going to cover any pre-existing condition for a period of 12 months after your effective date. So they look back 12 and they don't cover it 12. Anything that is not pre-existing is a brand new condition. Of course, that would not be subject to those limitations. Now, this coverage, if you previously declined it, then you will be asked to complete evidence of insurability and go through the underwriting process. But if this is your first time to be offered this, you can buy this without any evidence of insurability. And here is the rate calculation example for that long-term disability coverage. If you're interested, again, your ADP portal is going to calculate this for you. But here is the example in case you want to know more. So what do you need to do now? Well, the first thing is to make sure that your ADP portal is ready to go. So make sure you have your account created and registered. Online enrollment does open up May 18th, and all elections must be made by June 15th. Coverage will go into effect July 1st, unless it does require evidence of insurability, and then you will be notified in writing if your coverage is approved and what effective date. But otherwise, those premiums will go into effect on your first payroll after July 1st. And again, this is open enrollment, so this is the time of year where you can make those changes. You can add coverage or drop coverage if you wanted to maybe add vision that we talked about in another slide show or presentation. You could do that. You can add a spouse or drop a child. Whatever changes you want to make, now's the time to do it. And here are the carrier connections. These are the carriers assigned to all the benefits that we are offering as a part of our benefit package. So if you have any specific information and you want to reach out to the carrier, here's their contact information, their phone number, and their website, and they will be glad to assist you with that. And finally, here's our contact information. This is our phone number and our email address. If you have any questions about anything that you've seen in this presentation or another presentation, please reach out to us. We're here to serve you and answer any questions or concerns that you may have. Thanks for attending and have a great day.